Thomas Cole was born in 1801 in Bolton, Lancashire, in northwestern England. He then moved with his family to the United States in 1818. He worked as a portrait artist for many years until 1825, when he discovered the beauty of the Catskill wilderness and became a landscape painter. It became the subject of a lot of his artwork. He traveled back to Europe and developed many of his skills there, learning from various artists in different countries. After his return, he gained prominence for many of his European landscape paintings. From 1835 to 1836, he worked on The Course of Empire, a very famous five-piece collection depicting the rise and eventual fall of an imaginary city. In these paintings, he expressed his views on industrial development. He seems to show the negative consequences of industrialization on the wild beauty of nature. He sees pastoralism as the best way for a society to be organized. Any movement beyond this leads to destruction and desolation, two of the five famous paintings. Development led to destruction in the natural beauty and thus the destruction of society. In 1836, Cole then painted the view from Mount Holyoke, Northampton, Massachusetts, after a thunderstorm, known more famously as the Oxbow, just after his work with The Course of Empire. It is a massive oil sketch painting that measures 51.5 inches by 76 inches. It was originally nicknamed the Oxbow after the name of the river in the center of the painting. This is because the river is shaped like the bowed wooden collar of a yoked ox. It is seen as a masterpiece of American landscape, capturing the natural beauty of the untamed wilderness as well as the pasteurized land. There are many different interpretations of this painting, but he never shared his intentions behind the work, so every hypothesis has little proof of validity. This painting was painted in a time defined by westward expansion and the industrialization of America. There were a lot of advancements being made on the frontiers and within the cities. This painting and his other works show his views on this expansion. His love for wilderness and natural beauty plays out in all of his works. When people put that beauty in jeopardy, he does not support it. This work was also made in reaction to a comment made by the European landscape architect Basil Hall. He stated that Americans lacked enough focus on the scenery around them and criticized American artists for their lack of appreciation of landscape and the beauty found in nature. Cole painted this masterpiece in response. There is an immense amount of detail within the work, from little houses in the distance with distinct features and smoke blowing out of their chimneys to the realistic details of himself painting. So much effort went into displaying the intricacies of the natural beauty found in the land. The immense amount of time and effort that went into this work display that he, an American artist, does in fact have a passion for the beauty of nature. Cole wanted to display that American artists do have respect for the nature around them. That is why he also painted himself amongst the wilderness in the painting. He wanted to show his connection to nature as a painter and his commitment to it. There are many important aspects of Cole's The Oxbow. One of the first things that you may notice is the dramatic cycle of nature that he is displaying in the juxtaposition of the thunderclouds with a clear, bright sky. He seems to show the intense beauty of a storm compared to the clear beauty in a bright blue sky. Also, there is a strong juxtaposition between the pastoralized land versus the untamed wilderness. The two halves of the painting are separated by the river diagonally across the painting. The ominous clouds cover the wilderness, while the farmlands and the little homes that dot the pastoralized land are experiencing a very calm, beautiful day. This stark contrast, I believe, is intended to show the troublesome nature of further expansion. Cole is known to not be in favor of industrialization. It can be seen in a number of his other works. I believe in The Oxbow he is trying to show that if development keeps pushing into the wilderness, then the future will be uncertain and tumultuous. He sees the balance of nature and human development in the farmlands as favorable, but any expansion of man into further lands will have bad implications. The name of this painting also originates from the river. It holds extreme significance to Cole because it is the division between development and wilderness. This division must be maintained. This river has held the people to their own land, and it must continue to do so. If you look closely at the painting, you may also see him perched on a tree branch painting the scene within the painting. His presence among the wilderness shows his preference for the untamed nature. He is also known to favor the wilderness from his love of the Catskills. In addition, if one looks closely in the far hill painted in the distance, they can also make out the Hebrew spelling of Noah, or the upside-down word for Almighty, suggesting that the true artist is God. All beauty in nature comes from him, the divine architect. Although there are many aspects that allow one to zoom in and see the details online of the painting, it is not but in person that you can get the full effect of the painting. It is massive. It takes up almost an entire wall at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Every inch of this painting is covered with the smallest details and paint strokes. The time and effort that it took to make this masterpiece can only be appreciated in person. Thus, Cole's true appreciation for nature can only be seen in person. His love for the beauty of nature comes in his willingness to spend countless hours making sure that he gets every detail of the beauty right. For him, the beauty is in the detail and in the small things. The colors are so much more vibrant in person as well. The juxtapositions of weather in the different lands is much more apparent. There's a different color palette used for each that can be seen much better if you see it in person.